The markets are lining up for a monumental trade. I'm going to show you 3 reasons why, 3 things that you need to look out for, and what the next potential rotational shift will be for the markets. Also, very, very importantly, we need to focus on Bitcoin and the stock markets because there is a possibility that Bitcoin is rolling over. So stay tuned until the very end of the show. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get into it immediately. And if we look over here, all right, guys, 1 second. Apparently, I have a video playing. Let's pause this. Is it that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's get going. So first and foremost, big trade lining up right now. It's all around the ETH ETF. You'll see the narrative is starting to pick up pretty aggressively. If you go and look through crypto Twitter, you'll see a lot of people talking about Ethereum. But this is something that we already pinpointed quite a long time ago. So if you look over here, how is it lining up? Well, currently you have the stablecoin inflow remaining positive. You have the Bitcoin halving cycle in 49 days. You have the ETH ETF deadline, which is in 87 days. The BTC ETF inflows remaining high. They're yet to turn back down. GBTC ETF outflows are at an all-time low for the past 2 days, which means one thing, right? An increase in buying pressure for the overall crypto market, which is consequently sending prices higher. And you can see people are now catching on to the ETH trade when we already identified this months ago, as early as December, right? So we'll look at that in a moment. And this is what you're seeing on High Block Capital. The long liquidation levels have increased towards the upside pretty substantially over here. Quite a marked increase as price trends higher and higher. You can see traders opening up leverage long. So you have the open interest now reaching those 2021 highs. Look at that over here. That is your open interest from the ultimate peak on Ethereum. And now we're currently back at those levels. So a lot of new interest has come into the markets and people are looking to build enormous longs. Here you have your funding rate spike today, perfectly timing the leverage and the funding rates for maximum gains over there, as he says. So have a look at how this unfolds. Eventually there will be a flush towards the downside that will reset the market and that will create buying opportunities. So we'll go through on today's show if you should be looking to get long on ETH, or is it too late? Well, if you look over here, what do we see? This is what we see. Remember, we were looking to build major longs. Well, firstly at 1,500. Secondly, when we broke out of the ascending triangle, which was rising towards the upside, and price was back testing that $2,100 level for ETH. We said as long as there's no acceptance that's gained below $2,100 on ETH, it's a long opportunity with a measured move all the way up to $3,300. We're now at $3,100, which ultimately means that based on this trade over here, we've played out the majority of that measured move. So you can see from bottom to current price levels, we've played out 45% of that move where we were looking to potentially go for a 55% move. So does that mean you should be longing ETH at this exact moment? The answer, or the short answer, is probably not. Probably not. The longer term answers, it depends on your time horizon. It depends on how you want to position for the coming months, how you plan on scaling in. Are you going in on spot? Are you going in on leverage? There's many varying factors. But I have one question for you, the audience, and that is vote in the poll section below. What will ETH price be by the end of this month? The 31st of March, will it be $2,000, meaning we have a substantial pullback? Will it be $3,500, which is just a little bit above current levels coming into this resistance over here? Do you believe ETH will be $4,000 or will it be more than $4,000? Vote in the poll section below. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts, and then let's continue. Let's have a look at the rest of the altcoin market on the Banter Bubbles chart over here, see how things are doing. On the hourly, okay, ApeCoin, we are long on ApeCoin. It's one of the trades that we've given. It is in profit. Not as much profit as I'd like yet, but it is still in profit. We also long on Woo. That's another one that's up over there. What else is an outlier? Let's have a look at the daily. Over here, we have FLR. What is FLR? I don't even know what FLR is. Let's quickly have a look over here. FLR, Flare. Okay, Flare is up. Man is up. Arweave's up. 𝗗𝗢𝗓 had a pretty big move over here. We just recently started to build that gaming portfolio, which we've been building longs on. It's been dropped in whale room as well. So all in all, that's looking good. Weekly holding up on the gains over there. Monthly pretty much green across the board for the entire top 100. What about the 101 to 200? Also green to 300. Also green to 400. Also green. And one more. 500, pretty much also all of them are green. You can see some of them are lagging, which is typically the way the crypto markets work, right? The money flow goes from Bitcoin into ETH, into the large caps, the mid caps, and then the smaller caps. And you can see how it's now only just starting to flow on the monthly time frame into those 400 to 500. If you go on to the next level, let's have a look over here. You can see also a couple of reds over there further down the risk curve. So a whole lot to look at. We played out this move for a long period of time. We saw the histograms on the monthly chart for both Bitcoin on the left and Ethereum on the right, returning towards the upside with the RSI also trending up, showing bullish momentum. We finally got the posturing on the monthly time frame for Ethereum that we were looking for, which is ultimately where you have the perfect positioning with the moving averages. You have the 7, which is the short moving average, now above the 20, which has just crossed above the 50, meaning prices above the short, above the medium, and above the long-term moving average, with all of the short, the medium, and long above each other, trending onwards and upwards. But we're coming into that pink zone, which was always a key resistance area and the longer-term target for Ethereum. So again, bringing you back to this point, would I be longing Ethereum right here, right now? Probably not. Probably not. I would wait for a bit more of a substantial pullback. Now, when those pullbacks do come, you can see over here on a high time frame, you can expect the pullback to come into these moving averages, which currently your 7 moving average is going to be the first one you want to look at. For Bitcoin, that's rising up at $37,600 right now. For Ethereum, that's rising up at $2,137, which is where we initially built our big long positions over here in the yellow box. So all in all, that's what we're looking at. It's onwards and upwards, and it is looking good. Now, for altcoins, they're still lagging, right? Remember, the altcoins are lagging, and that's the point of today's show. We're going to focus on where the rotational shift should be, moving from those AI coins into a potential new narrative, which could be looking to gain a lot of steam and momentum in the days and weeks to come. So if you want those coins, guys, do me a massive favor, smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get it to 1,000 likes, and then we'll also take your altcoin requests. We do apologize for being slightly delayed on today's live session. We had some major technical issues, but we solved it just before giving up on the stream. Okay, altcoins over here. If you look at Titan of crypto and the total market cap on the monthly time frame, which is a very high time frame, excluding BTC. So really, this is total 3. It's Ethereum and all the other altcoins. You can see the previous tops were matched when you use the momentum oscillator coming into this trend, this declining trend line over here. And the bottoms were also found at the bottom of that trend line. And consequently, that's marked all the major bottoms and tops. So you can see increase over here in buying pressure, and there's a lot of room or momentum that's still left behind. So he says over here, imagine being underexposed to altcoins right now. If you look at the RGVI indicator, it's showing plenty room, potentially a move all the way up to about $4 million or on those market caps over there. So let's have a look. Total 3, which is the DGen altcoin market cap, so it's miners, Bitcoin miners, Ethereum. It is looking good, continues to consolidate within this region, and slowly but surely making its move up towards the top side. I'll just remind you, we've been lagging by about 50%, so it's got about 50% move just to make a catch up. Now, if you look at total on the Gaussian channel on the 4-hour time frame, it's been holding a perfect trend, right? The same is true for total 2. If you look at total 2, perfect uptrend over there, holding this region as support. Total 3, same thing over there, and others exactly the same thing. So all in all, liquidity is continuing to flow within the market, and everything is looking rather healthy. But I want to ask you another question above and beyond the poll results, which is where ETF will be come the end of March. I also want to ask you, where do you think we are within the Wall Street cheat sheet, which ultimately moves through these different phases? I'm looking at the comments right now, monitoring these. Start dropping your thoughts. Are we in disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, thrill, euphoria, complacency? Where are we within this phase of the cycle? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious. We have to be, you can forget this side of the chart. We have to be somewhere here. Disbelief, hope, optimism, belief, or thrill. Which part of the cycle are we in? Now, thinking very far ahead, because the show here is also about lessons. Super important. This is how you can look forward for potential tops within the cycle. Now, Fubar says over here, he believes that we're exiting the disbelief and we're only just entering into the hope phase, which is a recovery as possible. I personally think we're a little bit above that. I think by now most people can see, well, we're probably already through that hope phase, possibly even moving into the optimism where people start to look to build additional stronger leverage positions and margin their house. Things like that, right? That usually happens at the top. He says over here, the most popular engagement farming threads are still about selling before the last cycle's high. So on Twitter, those are getting the most engagement. Optimism is when people stop mocking the ETH ETF. I think we're kind of about to get to that phase right now, which hence I said between hope and optimism, we're somewhere in those phases. Thrills when Gensler resigns, and this one really hit home for me. This is a big one. As somebody that puts out a lot of tweets and reads the comments, euphoria is when people will block you for even talking about selling. Now, I felt this at the bottom when I ultimately said, well, I'm looking to go long, and they basically, a lot of people who were really, really strong followers of mine, people that followed me for a long time, always used to comment on my posts. And I was bearish since I started with the shows over here, which was near the top of the bull run. And I started to flip bearish when I immediately changed my tune and started to flip bullish at about $16,000. Those people turned on me. I had a lot of hate, right? I'm looking for the same thing to occur over here. So I'll let you guys know when that happens. I'll let you know as I'll call you out if you're one of those people that are putting that hate on me. So you can see my money is where my mouth is. I'm building long positions. I don't have a single short position over here on Bybit. Currently still scaling into some of these positions. The ones that are currently down, but they're only marginally down, is Arbitrum and AVAX. We have DIM, which is also slightly down. There was a major announcement there. So let's see if the market picks up on that and we start to get an upside move. Jupiter slightly down. Link slightly down. Myro slightly down. What else do we have? Optimism is flat. Pith slightly down, QNT pretty much flat, Rose is flat. The rest of them are in major profit. So you can see over here, if we go up to my Ethereum trade, which is, here it is, Ethereum, I'm up 832%. So I'm not going to be adding anything into that trade. Fetch AI up 1,400%. So some of my AI ones are up exponentially. XAI also up 142%. Big trades over there. I'll be looking to take profits from those trades and move them into potential new narratives. So again, smash the like button if you want those coins towards the end of the show. And then also I want to add Whale School, I believe, is full. I think it's completely full. What you can do if you do want to join, and it's happening in 2 days, 5 hours and 17 minutes, use the link in the description below. Immediately sign up whilst you still can. Go to the link in the description below to Whale School over here. Try and join. You'll be bumped onto a waiting list. If you're unable to get in, you're going to be bumped onto a waiting list. So just follow the sign up process. If they don't let you in 2 days, you'll be joined onto the waiting list process. Okay, next. Also, I want to remind you, if you sign up to Bybit and BitGet, firstly, you can obviously claim your sign-up bonus. Secondly, you can participate in the Winner Bitcoin competition. All you have to do is guess the price of what Bitcoin will be by the 15th of May as the clock strikes 12 on Coinbase. It's dead easy. You can see here's all the different predictions. Pretty interesting looking at these predictions. Most people are calling for, just below those all-time highs. Some people even above that at $72,000. A lot of people believe as the halving happens in April, we're going to be going up to all-time highs. It looks like most people are predicting that. Go and put your guess in. It's completely free to do. If you guess closest and you've used one of the links that are in the description below over here, Bybit or BitGet, you will win a full Bitcoin. Literally one full Bitcoin. So if it is priced at $65,000, essentially you'll be winning $65,000. All right, let's continue. Let's continue on over here. Now, Bitcoin is giving some major warning signs over here. It's paused at a very critical and key level. Not only paused, but it closed below that significant level. So if you look at this chart over here, this has been the ultimate range. We're looking at eventually a move into the range highs and then another pause at this region. Once we break and hold above that level, that's when you can say firmly we're moving into a full-on bull run. And I would actually anticipate that it would trade something like this, right? If you look over here, my expectation for Bitcoin is if you look at this key level that I've just highlighted, this was the prior run. if you look, that was the prior cycle top, right? So if you pull this all the way across and you look at the prior cycle top, look at those candles at about $20,000. I expect that Bitcoin will probably pause around that region for a number of weeks. This happened for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th week you had straight expansion through. So I'm looking for something similar. Eventually, price is going to make its way up towards that level. And as it gets there, expect another pause at that 60K level. Consolidation, many people will be calling for a double top scenario in relation to the left and for a major pullback. But understand, it probably won't come. You're probably going to get continuation and expansion straight through. But we're sitting at the range quarterly level. Failure to get through that level suggests that we're either going to pause and consolidate or pull back. So we're either going to consolidate like this before again mounting another assault, or this is actually going to end up rolling over and coming all the way down to $45,000 to set in another higher low. So watch those levels carefully. That is still potentially on the cards. But in today's show, I'm also going to show you why you still may end up seeing Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins run. It depends on how Bitcoin pulls back. Okay, if Bitcoin pulls back like this, everything is going to go down. If Bitcoin slow bleeds like this into the support level at 45K, and I'm also going to show you multiple reasons why this 45K level is so significant. If it does it like that, then you can expect the rest of the altcoin market will rally. Now, a reminder that I stuck my neck on the line. James, you can also vouch for that. Because I involved you in this call, asking if I should make that call. We said that this was probably the final higher low and bottom for the ETH BTC ratio, and we're expecting Ethereum to continue to rally on towards the upside over the course of the year, eventually sweeping these highs all the way at the top, meaning if you convert your Bitcoin into Ethereum now and you hold for the longer term, well, you can expect to gain about 40% more Bitcoin just by doing that simple rotational play. So all in all, it's lining up for one big trade. Now, you can also see if you look at Bitcoin on this time frame, and I'll compare to Ethereum now, it's starting to roll over. It's starting to lose some key levels, right? Failure for bulls to take control over here means probably a move back down to $46,000, which happens to line up with your green moving average. Now, if you look at Ethereum, different picture, right? Ethereum is showing strength. Look at the moving averages, all angled towards the upside. Bulls remain in control over here. So $45,000 to $46,000 for Bitcoin would be the pullback level. More supporting evidence of that, again, if it does roll over here, and I'm going to give you the trigger levels. I'll show you where the trade triggers for a move all the way back down to this key level. Lining it up, you have the move from the bottom to the top. I've taken the fib tool and using that golden pocket between the 0.618 and 0.65 level lines up with that $44,000 to $44,500. That is the zone where you're looking for higher low. I would be looking to add to my Bitcoin long position over there should price come into that, and also add to altcoins if they even do pull back during this pullback. Okay, also looking over here at the fear and greed, you can see it's doing a bit of a healthy reset. It's been trending down for the last couple of days, and we're currently situated at 67 on that fear and greed index. So all in all, that's what we're seeing. Now, you also need to look at the Bitcoin dominance. If Bitcoin comes down slowly but surely rolls over like I've shown you without an aggressive pullback, well, then you might see this slow bleed as well back down to about this 50% mark, where it does have support on the 200-week moving average, that being Bitcoin dominance, and that should give altcoins a little bit of a push towards the upside. So all in all, that's looking good. You can also see, if you look at the Ichimoku cloud over here, we're currently losing some of these moving averages. The cloud is still cross bullish and will act as support. And where does that key level come in? Also around that $45,000 mark. You can see over here, if you look at the ADX, the average directional index, it's currently trending towards the downside, which shows you a lack of momentum within the market. And you have the DI positive trending towards the downside, showing you again, bulls need a reset. They need to build new momentum. Now, how do you build new momentum? Well, either you need a pullback to come back to a value zone where people deem it to be a good price to get in, and they'll be looking to rebuild longs, or you need time to pass. You need a consolidation for time to pass, and that will allow this the ADX to come back down, reset, and build new momentum towards the upside. So watching that over there, all signs are pointing to what I've just outlined. Again, Another bit of supporting evidence, if you look at the chart prime indicator suite over here, we have a fair value gap, which is currently coming in between that 45,500 and the top side at about 47,000. We're in a fair value gap right now as it currently stands, but we also have our premium zone, which is outlined at the top side over here, which is capped price at 52,000. So I'll give you the trigger levels again. I'll give you the trigger levels. You can see clearly there's a range that's forming over here. If we gain acceptance below this range over here, then that is your trigger, right? That's your trigger that prices are probably going to roll over. And then you're looking for a move into the next fair value gap. If you're somebody that's new to trading and you want to make your trading easy by using this suite of indicators, you get access to the full suite at a discounted rate if you use the link in the description below. That is for Chart Prime. I know a lot of you have been asking in the Discord as well as in the chats saying that how do you draw these fair value gaps? How do you find the discount premium zones? Again, Chart Prime offers you a 7-day risk-free trial. So you sign up, you get all your money back after 7 days if you're unhappy with it. Okay. More supporting evidence over here. Let's go through this and then I'll give you the pivot levels as well as the exact range levels for where the breakdown would start to take place. Don Crypto Trade says over here, after breaking above its 200-day moving average in EMA, that's for Bitcoin, which mostly traded at or above these during the previous cycle. He says this is very, very normal and you don't often get a lot of retests. In both 2017 and 2021, Bitcoin traded above those key levels for 1 full year before eventually retesting them again. So how long have we been above those key levels right now? Well, if you look at Bitcoin, since the last retest of those key moving averages, we have been above those levels for 135 days. So not quite a full year yet. Understand that this rally can go pretty aggressive for a long period of time. And I don't think that if we got a pullback now that you're necessarily going to come back to this key level, because I see that this 38K zone, which is over here, I'll zoom in, this $38,000 zone is most likely going to be a very, very significant pivot point, which I believe bulls will defend and hold price above. So I don't think that you'll come as low as that. I think that your next major level, as mentioned, is that 45K level. Because again, you have your 50-day moving average, the red one, trending up, and it also lines up at that $45,000 level. So if there is a pullback on Bitcoin, that's your zone to watch. And the levels are clear, right? Here it is. I'm going to give you multiple reasons why this range level is clear. Firstly, you're below your pivot level, which is situated at 52.4. Price is capped below that right now. So bulls need to get above that to break above the range. ETH has already done that, right? ETH has already broken above its range. If you look over here, here was ETH's range. Let's just quickly draw that in. Here's ETH's range. We'll make that nice and big. And a solid line. There it is. ETH has broken above its range. So Bitcoin needs to get above 52 to do exactly the same thing. And then you can look to defend that level. The range low is currently coming in just below that $50,500 level. And if you lose that level, you've lost the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. And then you're going to have support over here at 47 for probably a small bounce at the 4 hour 200 EMA. And then you're likely going to roll over and come down to 45K. So that's the longer term plan. If you look over here, there are still longs on Bitcoin, but the market is very undecided. It's been flip-flopping between shorts and longs on Bitcoin, which is why you're getting that choppy range. Look at the liquidity down below as well. Huge liquidity at 50,250. So going on to the 4 hour time frame as Bitcoin moves down right now, as we can currently see, as soon as you gain acceptance below $50,900, you're probably going to lose this level. So we're already approaching the 50 EMA. If you start to see something like this, gaining acceptance over there at about 50,500 underneath this line, which I have currently situated at 50,900, that means that you're going to break down. I would say then you're going to revert down to 48, small bounce, and then you're probably going to roll over to 45. So use that to your own advantage. Monitor what's happening on Bitcoin dominance whilst all of this takes place. That you want to have all eyes on Ethereum, ETH, BTC, Bitcoin dominance, and the Bitcoin chart. Those are the 4 charts that you want to be watching as all of this unfolds, right? Because if it happens in a healthy, systematic way, in a very structural pullback kind of way, as opposed to just a straight nuke candle towards the downside, alts are going to rally, which is why I'm still building those long positions. Okay, now the stock market is something else we absolutely have to look at. If you look at the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 over here, he says, while large stocks are partying like it's a new bull market, small stocks are getting crushed. So the Russell 2000 index is tracking small cap stocks. It's down massively, 27% from its recent peak, while the S&P 500 is up over 120% since its 2020 low. Small companies are hurting badly and large companies are getting even bigger. Currently, the top 10% of stocks in the US now reflect 75% of the entire market. And then they say this is the most concentrated stock market since the Great Depression. They always bring this stuff up. Great Depression, truly historic. History is repeating, and then you scroll down, look here. So what you're saying is maybe, just maybe, I haven't been so wrong after all. It's almost like small caps are discounting a credit event. Michael A. Gayed, the CFA, guys, you don't want to be following this guy. Literally, I follow him, but to counter trade him, you don't want to be following this guy. He is fading the trend. He is fading the trend, and they're all interpreting the data in completely the wrong way. So they're suggesting that ultimately the stock market is completely overvalued. The S&P 500 has had a major typical bear market relief rally and should be coming down aggressively, and the greatest credit event of our entire lifetimes is about to unfold. But they're interpreting it wrong, because if you look at the way that history rhymes and repeats, then you would know that we're probably going into an everything rally. And you can see it over here from Seth Golden. Equal weight S&P 500 broke its streak of 546 sessions without a multi-year high. A multi-year high meaning a 2-year high, ending the 5th longest drought in history. The index has risen over the subsequent year every single time, 100% hit rate. So the number of sessions since a 2-year high. Look over here. It's saying it took 546 trading sessions before we made a new 2-year high on the S&P 500, right? If you look at the prior times that's happened, look at these big peaks over here. What happened to the stock market? Boom, up. What happened to the stock market? Boom, up. It's been an up-only environment, right? Every single time for the next year, the stock market goes on to continuously make all-time highs, which means that you would expect that crypto would do the same thing. So there it is, stock market side, all-time highs, consolidating at all-time highs, and it looks very, very, very bullish. Now we're going to move into the altcoins. It's time for the altcoins. So we've covered the main stuff. Let's quickly review your poll results over here. So this is what you guys said. What will ETH price be by 31st of March? The majority of you believe $3,500, which is just above our target. So pretty decent. Some of you, 10%, are looking for major pullback at the $2,000 region. If there is a pre-halving dump, of course, that's totally in the realm of possibilities. Okay. Filecoin long is still in play. This is on Prime XBT. We took this trade over here. All in all, that is looking pretty good. I'm going to continue to hold that. I'm just updating you over here. The trend remains. We're establishing a new range at the top of a trending move, which is pretty bullish, looking for that consolidation and higher targets at a later stage. By the way, guys, if you do want to trade the stock markets, so you want to trade stocks, Forex, commodities, things like gold, oil, any Forex pair that you may be looking at, as well as crypto, all in one place. Prime XBT does have that offering. They're one of the few platforms that do that. You can use the link in the description below, claim up to your $7,000 sign-up bonus, or you can use the 25% discount on all future trade commissions code. Sign up using the link in the description below. It is there for your advantage. And then let's look into the altcoins. So I want to give a very, very quick overview just in relation to where these stochastic RSIs are on the major coins, and then we'll go into some of the smaller stuff. So you can see BTC showing signs that it could potentially turn down. ETH still trending towards the upside. Chainlink already turning back down, but coming into support level. You have Casper, don't like that toppy looking candle. This was the first target which we missed by what? Literally by 1%. That was the 1.618 fib extension. So you could potentially have a pullback all the way back down into the top side of the range at 14 cents for Casper. trending towards the downside. I'm going to be looking to build a big position on 𝗓𝗓 and 𝗬𝗎, but only after a pullback. We got 𝗕𝗬𝗕 trending towards the upside. We're long on that, and it's about to break out. So you can see some look bad, some look good. This shows you the rotational play that's currently taking place in crypto. MATIC also trending towards the upside. Solana not looking good, bruv. Rejecting from a key level. Stochastic RSI, yes, it's at the bottom, but it can still go down a lot more. It is trending down. Atom trending towards the upside. We're still in our Atom long trade, long and strong, holding onto that position. Cardano rejecting like Solana from a pretty key level. DOT, I would say up. I'm looking for further upside just based on the previous week's candle. Cake, what about Cake? We've been long on this as well, but we said you get giga long if it breaks above 345. So watch that level. BCH coming down, BSV coming down, Aptos up, BNB up, Zeta, not enough history, Lithium, not enough history, Optimism. Let's look at the layer 2s. Okay, looking okay. Arbitrum trending towards the downside. So those are the positions over there. As mentioned, Casper, watch for a throwback into 1445 as a key level. All right, we'll get into some of your requests in just a moment. Key things to look out for the week. Uni obviously moved, they flipped their proposal into now profit share. So we had a huge move on Uniswap, right? We have Cake as well, planning affiliate model for hodlers. A lot of them are switching into this. Curve, I want to look at Curve as well. James, please let them know that we'll be slightly late due to the issues on the stream. We have a meeting, guys. We have a meeting, but just let them know there's nothing I can do. Let's go, because we can't ditch you guys. We can't ditch you guys. We have to continue on over here. Let's quickly go on to Curve. Okay, there we have it. Curve. Okay, pulling back into a key level over here. If you can pick some Curve up around 52 cents, that will be a very, very significant zone. So also, guys, scams, be very, very careful. Look at this. They literally hacked MicroStrategy's account. They said announcing MSTR. This is an actual coin that's out there. It's a scam. An Ethereum token fully integrated into our ecosystem. This is what the hackers wrote on the tweet. What sets us apart? We have low gas fees, seamless transactions, built on trusted, scalable code, backed by MicroStrategy and supplied from our BTC reserves. Claim your free MSTR today. This is how quickly you get scammed within the market. Please be safe. Look out for those crypto scams. Look out for those crypto scams. This one is still going around. It's still going around. Be very, very careful. We're almost done. We had major technical issues. No, don't. Look, Rand doesn't know how to operate the camera. It will be 5 minutes, I promise. Look here, this hack has been going around, guys. It's still happening for the Solana mobile. Please be very, very careful. Protect yourself with a NordVPN. Using the link in the description below, you're getting 64% discount. It works out to literally 9 cents per day, and it literally will warn you. It won't stop every single scam that's out there on the blockchain, but it will warn you when there's a malicious link that is trying to corrupt your data. So please be very, very careful over there. All right. Look, Rand came in. Guys, I'm going to have to close it off. Sign up to Whale School using the link in the description below. I do apologize. I'll update you all on Whale Room. We are going to also be doing a live session later today at 6 o'clock. Apologies for that. I'll try to put out some tweets on the other coins that I was looking at, which I was hoping to bring to your attention today. So see you all in the next one. Cheers for now.